I've never really been big on alcohol, though I've only been 21 for, what, like 6 months? Though for a while I was trying a lot of different kinds. I even went to a pub and got a beer sample. Every single one of them sucked. But anyway, that does make me curious about who are the drunkest characters in gaming. No, that's too easy. Games like GTA and Red Dead Redemption, you sort of expect games like these to have wholly hammered individuals. No. What I wonder is which games and characters do we assume are innocent, but actually have a huge alcohol kick? So making a rule, no games or characters that are M-rated, because that makes things way too easy. Now, how could you even make a list like this without including Soda Popinski? It's so obvious that I'm just gonna throw him up as number 5. In America, it's implied by his name that the bottles he drinks are merely full of soda, but being that this game is full of heavy stereotypes, and that Popinski is Russian, and the Russian stereotype is that they're all drunk on vodka all the time, it makes perfect sense that in the original version of the game, his name was in fact Vodka Drunkinski. He's drunk on the battlefield. There's no other way to put it. And speaking of battlefields, fighting back goblins and other such monsters in Dragon's Crown is a blast, especially with all your friends, including Tiki. Imagine Navi and cross her with Tinkerbell, and remove the whole annoying factor. You get Tiki. The thing is, despite being a young and innocent looking fairy, she's a hardcore drunk. Every single time you visit the tavern to plan your next mission, she's literally bathing in a goblet, drunk out of her mind. With such a small body, 1 cup of anything is enough to get her totally wasted. Plus, again, she's bathing in what her little stomach couldn't consume. All that alcohol will just find other ways into her body. Never heard of vodka tampons? But now we'll move away from the T rating, because you can kind of expect some level of alcoholism in T-rated games. The other 3 games I want to show you are all rated E. Meaning it's an even bigger surprise that these characters are drunks. And the first character in this E category is Wario. Wario is many things. A zombie, a vampire, a master of disguise, even a balloon. Is this what causes all these images? But what not very many people know is that he is also extremely weak to alcohol, which is surprising for an Italian. He gets drunk insanely easily, as seen in the Japanese version of Wario Land 2. This bird thing gets threatened by Wario's presence, and sees that the only option is to throw his glass full of beer all over you. That's the smart thing to do, and Wario gets full-on drunk, almost immediately, from having a single mug of beer thrown at his face. Most beer only has about 5% alcohol, meaning it would normally take quite a bit to get a guy as large as Wario drunk. But nope, a splash in the face is all that it takes. Sucks for him. Granted, it doesn't suck as much as what the bird throws at him in the American version of the game, which is a bomb. Because how dare we show the consumption of alcohol? Let's just show a bomb exploding in someone's face instead. Violence is fine. That is the American way, after all. Of all the Mario characters to get drunk, it makes sense that Wario would be the one to do that. But he's not the only one. There is another. And judging by the thumbnail of this video, you probably already know. Princess Toadstool. Yeah. Peach here enjoys getting all red-faced in moments of victory. And I don't just mean in all this fan art that I totally didn't Photoshop. In Super Mario Kart, upon winning first place in a cup, you are rewarded with an entire champagne bottle. Yes, a whole one. Of course, they don't drink it in the American release of the game. But in the original Japanese version, they do. Characters besides Peach are seen drinking from it too. Bowser even pours the whole thing in his mouth. But he's a huge turtle thing. It'll take a lot more than that to even get him barely tipsy. But Peach, on the other hand, whoa, calm down! She just tips the bottle up and drinks the whole thing. Champagne is at minimum about 12% alcohol. And young women like Peach tend to get a little tipsy after just a glass or two. And she just chugs the whole thing.
Woo!
And now I have one more character to share with you, and he is easily the hardest alcohol hitter in gaming. Period. And yes, he is in fact in an E-rated game. So who could this even be? It's the boy from Harvest Moon 64. Wait. This takes a little bit of explaining. On the first of every year, so New Year's, this town you call home holds a festival where they toast and drink liquor. You can go around and talk with people, toasting to each one and enjoying a nice cup of hard liquor. Judging by the color of the drink, and that this is a farm town, there is likely a few vineyards not far off. So I think it's safe to say that this is red wine. So you go around talking to people, chugging away at the wine. Some people even want to have full-on drinking competitions with you, meaning multiple drinks per person. All in all, you can have 28 glasses of red wine in about 10 hours. 28! And he's not even a full-grown man yet. Red wine is on average about 12% alcohol. And this cup is almost as big as he is! But then again, so is everything. Darn art styles. Graphically speaking, held items are upscaled so the player can see what they're even holding. So let's play it safe and assume that these glasses hold 8 ounces of wine. 8 ounces, after all, is the minimum size of a proper wine glass. Though these do look more like cups than proper wine glasses, but 8 ounces is still a decent size to go off of. Plus, 8 ounces is 1 cup, so it's an easy number to work with. But just note, this is on the small side of individual servings of wine. So this is the minimum. And when you hear what's next, the size won't even really matter. So long story short, whenever you drink anything, your body breaks it down to its base nutrients and then transports that nutrients through your blood. In this case, it's taking all the alcohol you drink and transferring that through your blood. And alcohol in the blood is what causes us to get tipsy, and eventually drunk. How drunk you are is actually measured by the amount of alcohol currently in your blood. For example, in the United States, you are legally considered intoxicated at 0.08% blood alcohol level, which means 0.08% of your blood is alcohol. And because intoxication is based on percentages, that does mean that bigger people take more alcohol to get drunker, because they have more blood that it needs to flow through. The boy from Harvest Moon is not large. In fact, he's pretty small. But again, it's kinda hard to tell exactly how large it is because artistically they make everyone about the same size. But we do know that he's younger than most and is not necessarily well built. So let's go with 68 kilograms, which is about 150 pounds. Knowing all this, we can punch the numbers into some blood alcohol level calculators, which do exactly as they sound they should do. It calculates your blood's alcohol content, and it gives us an astonishing answer. 1.11%. 1.11%. Do you know what that can do to you? It's not pretty. At 0.08%, you are legally drunk. You can no longer drive by law. You have mild euphoria and some bit of visual impairment. Around 0.15%, you feel buzzed and have vastly decreased inhibitions. Around 0.25%, you are nauseated and confused. There is a chance you might black out. Between 0.3 and 0.4%, you are unarousable and lose control of your bladder. The chance of you blacking out is high, and anything above that, you are bound to fall unconscious, possibly knocked into a coma, and it makes it hard to breathe. And at 0.45%, you are near guaranteed to die. That's not even half of 1%. And this boy is at 1.11%. If he ain't king of the drunks, I don't know what he is. Give that boy a round of applause. And there you go. Games and characters from games you didn't realize were full of booze. Cheers. Oh, that's awful. Thanks for watching and being awesome. I'd like to give a shout out to Wouldnt, Noggin's current Patreon sponsor, as well as a special shout out to Tim Monitor, who inspired this video. He made a video looking into the drunk Harvest Moon situation a while back. I'll put a link to that in the description. So again, thanks for watching, stay awesome, and never stop using that noggin. Especially with all your friends, including Tiki. Imagine Navi and cross her with Tinkerbell, and remove the whole annoying factor. You get Tiki. The thing is, despite being a young and innocent-looking fairy, she's a hardcore drunk. Every single time you visit the tavern to plan your next mission, she's literally bathing in a goblet, drunk out of her mind. Now, how could you even make a list like this without including Soda Popinski? It's so obvious that I'm just gonna throw him up as number 5. In America, it's implied by his name that the bottles he drinks are merely full of soda, but being that this game is full of expect games like these to have wholly hammered individuals. No. What I wonder is which games and characters do we assume are innocent, but actually have a huge alcohol kick? So making a rule, no games or characters that are M-rated, because that makes things way too easy. Heavy stereotypes, and that Popinski is Russian, and the Russian stereotype is that they're all drunk on vodka all the time, it makes perfect sense that in the original version of the game, his name was in fact Vodka Drunkinski. He's drunk on the battlefield. There's no other way to put it. And speaking of battlefields, fighting back goblins and other such monsters in Dragon's Crown is a blast. I've never really been big on alcohol, though I've only been 21 for, what, like 6 months? Though for a while I was trying a lot of different kinds. I even went to a pub and got a beer sample. Every single one of them sucked. But anyway, that does make me curious about who are the drunkest characters in gaming. No, that's too easy. Games like GTA and Red Dead Redemption, you sort of